Welcome back, everyone. I am Brian, and you are Chords and Notes Nation. Today is an exciting day for me recording this video. I've been meaning to get to this for a while. It just seems like I have so many videos lining up in my queue, and I don't get to the ones I really want to. This is a cover of Rush Subdivisions. This is Yo, Charlie Benante, with Alex Skolnick, Rod Diaz, Brandon Yeagley, and Miyun Kim. Charlie Benante is the drummer, I believe, yes, for Anthrax. Alex Skolnick, obviously the guitarist for Testament and other bands. And the other ones, I am not familiar with their names, but in the description below this video, the write-up says, 1 year ago I had this. Okay, so this was put out, premiered April 5th of 2021. Said 1 year ago I had this idea to make a video while in quarantine. I was feeling pretty down about the passing of Neil Peart and about the pandemic. I needed to be creative and play. I contacted Alex and Ra about doing a Rush song and video, and they both liked the idea. I felt that they were probably feeling the same way I was, and that this would be a great way of jamming and entertaining while we were stuck home. The response to the initial video was overwhelming. It really made us feel good during a bad time. A whole year ago, I can't believe it. It ended up being a year of making music and videos after all. I now have a record that's coming out May 14th with most of the jams. The Rush songs will be out on a special EP on Record Store Day in November. This song will be included on that. Subdivisions is probably in every Rush fan's top 10 songs. Definitely one of their best. The keyboards dominate this tune, and Neil's sound on it is so unique. His drum fills are so precise and powerful, like little hooks throughout the song, an air drummer's dream. The lyrics tell a tale of life in the burbs and being shunned when you don't meet a certain standard. Subdivisions in the high school halls and the shopping malls conform to be cast out. Okay. All right. Let's do this thing. I love that song. It is in my top 10. I think it is. Maybe. See how well they do this. Nice, Charlie. All right. I just want to see something here. Brandon Crobot. Crobot. Okay. Yeah, that was enjoyable. Rush is such a unique band, and for many many reasons, there will never be another band like them, and they have set the standard so high that um, you know musicians don't have to be them, but they should aspire to be as dedicated to their craft as Rush was is. Um, Boy, I could do a whole video on that. So I'm not going to go down that mental pathway. What I am going to do is I'm going to talk about this performance. Yes, it was not live, and yes, they were, it was during the pandemic, whatever. They all had to play their parts. And Alex Skolnick did a wonderful job of covering Alex Lifeson's part. I was really interested in that because sometimes guitar players, especially well known, famous guitar players, will come in and they'll do a cover and then they'll want to put their own voice into it. And I don't really think he did that. There were some slight differences in tonality and stuff like that, but nothing that stood out. For example, like when Alex Skolnick came in to Sabotage after Chris Oliva passed away, and a lot of the live songs that he covered, he changed the solos, which to me just I was not okay with. The stuff that he had played on Handful of Rain was his music, but when he was covering Chris's stuff, he changed the solos, and to me, Chris's solos were just untouchable. But Alex Skolnick is such a monster guitar player, anyways, that I appreciate him. I always have. Rod Diaz and Myun Kim did a very good job. I don't think the bass was brought up well enough in the mix for me to be able to give it any sort of honest critique. So I'm going to move on to Brandon, who, that Geddy Lee has such a unique voice and such a high register, a really good range too, but such a high register, especially in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, um, that anybody who steps into those vocal shoes who's trying to match that register, it sounds awkward because Geddy's voice is so unique and he is so smooth in being able to sing that high and consistently. It just so did it seem yeah, a little bit awkward, but he did a good job. There was nothing wrong with it. And now Charlie. Okay, Charlie's drummer for Anthrax. Anthrax being a thrash metal band, and I only dip my toes into the waters of thrash metal once in a while. When I was younger, maybe a little bit more than I do now, but that's usually a mood thing for me. And so Anthrax really was the earlier stuff. I'm the Man, State of Euphoria, that era. I never looked or analyzed thrash metal as being compositional. Okay, I just never did look at it that way. It was basically noise, and I don't mean that in a bad way. And drummers for thrash and speed metal to me are like noisemakers. They're like how fast, how many drums, how just this wall of sound, just you know, um, and there's nothing compositional in it. So when I first saw this, and I'm like, okay, you're gonna take on Neil Peart's playing. Good luck. And now watching this, I'm like, holy smokes, Charlie. Really? Like, you nailed it. Like, you didn't even bluff your way through it. You nailed it with all of the intricacies and the timing and the feel. Um, a lot of respect for him off of this one, definitely. And I know they've done more. Obviously, he said they have. So I'll take a look at more of that. But I, d- I did do a reaction. They covered a, he covered a Mother Love Bone, and I think he played more than one instrument in that one. Boy, it's been a while. That's right, I did cover that, or I did react to that. I'll try and link that at the end of this video. I forgot about that. Hmm. Yeah, definitely a very good musician. Absolutely. And so my take on this one is this was a very solid cover. This was very good. I had no issues with it. I wish I would have heard the bass a little bit more. And the vocals were good. They weren't outstanding, but they were good. So yeah, there you go. There you have it. Cool. I'm glad I watched this. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. God bless you. Jesus loves you. I will talk to you in the next video.